I'm just a sinking ship, and you're just a pair of lips that I've lost in the moment. All I want is for you to come back. Now I'm caught in the middle of life, and I need you to survive.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Red Pill Diaries. I'm your host, your brother, and your friend Rashid, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining me on the most powerful platform for truth, bar none, on God's green earth. This is your platform for education, elevation, and edification. This is the Red Pill Diaries. I want to let everybody know we're waiting for Alex to join us. Also, I just got a message from my guy Dimitri. He's asking me, can I push back our show for an hour or so? Okay, something is going on, and I'll find out a little bit more shortly. But we got a triple header for you guys today. Dave is a trip. Let's see what Dave puts up. Greetings from the continent of Ireland. Good one. I needed a nice little laugh this morning, everybody. Yeah, but we'll wait for him for not Dimitri, excuse me, for our guy Alex to join us. But I want to say this: what we're watching that's going on politically and geopolitically in the Western world is outrageous. It's absolute turmoil and chaos, and this goes back to something that I keep telling you, that never in your lifetime did you think that the Western world would devolve at such a rate so dramatically, right? And it is because of time. I constantly go back to time. There's a time and a season for all things. There are times for kings to rule and time for kings to fall. There are times for leaders to lead, and there's time for leaders to be led. There's time for governments to rise and governments to fall. There is time for so-called order or international law according to, quote unquote, the West. And then there's a time when that is over. That is over. And we're living in the time of the fall of the Western world. No matter how you slice it, never have you seen so much chaos. Never have you seen so much division, such a divide in wealth and culture and scientific know-how, because it's going from east to west. I mean, west to east now. Never have you seen that. And then when you look at the entire situation, the sustainability of the Western world, you'll see that it is an impossibility for it to continue like this. You make up 1/12 or 1/11 of the world's population, yet you dominate every area of global finance. You dominate every area of industry. Well, you used to dominate every area of manufacturing, every area of politics, every area of geopolitics. There has to be a change. This is why they continue to talk about the thing called a correction. They continue to say that there are bubbles popping up everywhere. And I just hit, while we were talking, I'm multitasking. I just hit Alex up while I'm talking to you guys. What's up, M Sparks? W. Gilchrist in the building also. So never before have you seen all of these things merge or combine at the same time. You see war, the threat of war. You see nations, small, medium-sized, and large, disrespecting and disregarding the demands of the Western world. 20 years ago, you could not have fathomed that. And for the person that I just highlighted on the screen, when I talk to them, I will mention what you sent me, the message that you sent me. I got your message. I will message you. Okay, I will behind the scenes. Okay, I won't lie to you. But anyway, again, all the oh yeah, you're from Norway. I forgot. Yeah, salute. But again, never have all of these things happen in conjunction with one another. Think about that. And while we're looking at that, we're watching a world merge outside of the scope, power, and influence and corruption of the Western world. So we see a world merging in or coming in, and we see a world collapsing. This is the problem. You see two objects trying to occupy the same political space, the same geopolitical space, the same economic and financial space, the same cultural space, industrial space, manufacturing space at the same time. And according to science, two objects cannot occupy the same space at the same time, right? One must give way to the other. So we're looking at the smash up of nations, the smash up of the world. Think about this. While America continues to lose her in her her escalation war and expeditions around the world, while the West continues to threaten other people, at home, Europe is facing mounting unemployment. They're disregarding the wishes of the people of Europe. The governments are disrespecting and disregarding their own constituencies so that they can pretend as though they are this great power. They're willing to risk their position and their influence to try to maintain power. We look at America. America is doing this on steroids. And all while they're doing this, they're disregarding the livelihoods of their people while the debt burden continues to break the back of Western dominance. Did you think that you would see something like this happen? Did you think that you would live to see? Now, be honest, 30 years ago, could you have fathomed that the American empire would be defeated in such a way by Iran on the battlefield? And listen, what's even worse, she was defeated in the propaganda machine. America never loses the propaganda war. She is the liar extraordinaire.
Do you want to know how you personally can help protect?
This shows you that every area that they once dominated in, they're losing. We see African nations rejecting partnerships with their former colonial powers. They're rejecting the investment or the you know how when you have a corporation or you have this deal that this government is doing 33%, 33%, 33%, 33% for the government, 33% for foreign investors, and 33% for the corporations that are doing X, Y, and Z. Never did you think that the African nations would do this. They're saying, hell no. You've robbed and pillaged us. Hell no. We will find a way to finance our own drilling, our own demilitarization of Ukraine and also of its patrons across Europe and including the United States. If there was a conflagration, we would then have to shorten that on a later program. So Lindsey Graham, when he said that this is worth the fight, if really because they move goods, but also because they may create the commercial architecture for a parallel payment system built around China's digital RMB, or the yuan. So much definition, because my mentor took the time out to teach me this stuff. God bless his soul. He was a father figure to me, because my pops died when I was 14, I think, 14, 15. Right? But my male role model. So let's enjoy the ride while we're in the car and while the small roadblocks and impediments along the way. I think if we can do that, we've got something. All right. So, well, it's close to closing out. I might as well close out because we got 2 other shows coming up. I want to take the time out now to thank each and every one of you for joining me on the most powerful platform for truth, bar none, on God's green earth. This is your platform for education, elevation, and edification. This is the Red Pill Diaries. I'm your host, Rashid, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you from the depth of my soul to the bottom of my heart. And I want to say to you all, do right by others, not because there's some material gain to be had or because of some accolades, but do right by others because it's the right, the humane, and the godly thing to do. Because even when no one else is watching you, remember that God Almighty is watching you. As my late, great, and beautiful mother would always say, God sits high on the throne of power, but he looks low at the actions of man. Know that I love each and every one of you who loves truth, but know that the love that I have for you will always pale in comparison to the love that God has for you. Now, before I go further, I want to say this. A person asked me, why does your voice get raspy from time to time? And I told them, my voice was a strong, strong voice, as you can tell when I'm first starting the show. But when I got that COVID, quote unquote, 2 or 3 times, it damaged something. And so at times it gets raspy, and that's why you see me drinking a lot of water too. It's because of the after effect of that man-made thing that they let loose on everybody, okay? But I want to say to you all, know from the bottom of my heart that I love each and every one of you who loves truth, but know that the love that I have for you will always pale in comparison to the love that God has for you. Until we next speak again, which will be in a couple of hours, stay strong, stay true, but above all things, remember to stay righteous. Hey, mama, look at you, baby boy. I'm shining, and I still love you more than life. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Peace. We're out of here.
Told you to walk away. That was my first and last mistake. I'm blue without your face. But what can I do? 'Cause I'm just a sinking ship, and you're just a pair of lips that I've lost.